Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another TOJD. Mmm, nice and spicy ginger peach tea. Tisana, for those who prefer the proper tea. And cheers to Brit Kindle, Girl on Fire, for all the coffee salutes. You're gonna get tagged at the end, but had to start off with a salute. Hot tub. This is the end of the world tag created by the wonderful Olivia at iLivie for books. Cool cat. If you haven't, you probably follow her. She's got like 1,500 people who know what's what and know how to invest their time wisely. If not, I'm gonna link down the video from her original tag. This was an interesting tag, and I'm gonna tweak it slightly. It is the end of the world tag, and the questions are based on end of the world scenarios, which are fun. Although I'm not a super huge fan of end of the world movies, but that's just me. First question: an earthquake. Earthquakes separate the ground into multiple pieces. Favorite book with multiple perspectives. I actually had to look for a list because I gave it a lot of thought, and I realized that I don't read many books with many perspectives. Sure, maybe something here and there, but something like full blown? Mm-mm. And then I remembered that in high school, and actually one of the books that I'm going to read has multiple perspectives, and it is 100 Years of Solitude, Cien Años de Soledad. It is an amazing book, which I don't remember all too well. Remember certain aspects of Cien Años and Macondo in general, and the weird stuff that happens in that town. Remember actually a passage about a drop of blood that traversed the town. It still lingers, and I read this when I was in ninth grade, so that was 20 years ago. And I read it once, so it stuck. Not fully, so I'm gonna reread it, but that one. Question number 2, an asteroid. You can see an asteroid coming before it hits. What book did you see the plot twist coming way beforehand? Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I've spoken on this channel before about how I didn't like Percy Jackson, how it made me feel like an old fart, and there's a lot of things that I have with that book. Maybe if I had read it when I was a lot younger, but reading it when you're 36, or at least me at 36. Maybe someone else at 36 is gonna love it, so by all means check it out. But for me, there was a ton of stuff that I had issue with. Apart from the burgers and the shakes, it was the predictability. It was, oh, that guy's gonna be bad. That riddle is not a riddle. It's not a clue. It is not foreshadowing. It is a full shadow. And I saw a ton of stuff coming a mile away, and I didn't love it. Question number 3, an epidemic, a disease that everybody seems to be contracting. What book does everybody seem to be getting that you don't want? And also, Olivia asked about your favorite disease movie. And for me, I'm between 28 Days Later and Outbreak. 28 Days Later, I think, is one of the best zombie movies I've seen in my life. I don't know, it was just very different, and I really like it. Shaun of the Dead is also awesome, by the way. And Outbreak. I think Outbreak, I like it more in the sense that it has a big punch to it, at least for me. I'm at the movies, and I see someone coughing, and I just think of Outbreak, and I go like, you asshole, why are you here? Why aren't you at home keeping your germs to yourself? But that's just me, I get cooties. But books that are really popular, people are super into it. I'm actually really interested in reading a ton of stuff that people are raving about. But I am skeptical of a couple. Stuff that I don't want to read. I don't want to read The Secret, I don't want to read 50 Shades, and I don't want to read Twilight. The only way that I would read Twilight is that if I had a really, 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 really close friend that wanted to connect through that book, or I had a daughter or a son that was into the book, or one of my nephews is into the book and they want to talk about it. That's the only way that I would read Twilight. Because I saw the movie, and although I'm sure that the book is better, there are several issues that I have with that series. Namely, Bella being not a strong female character, if you ask me. Maybe it gets better, but at least that first movie, no. No, thank you. Question number 4, tsunami. Tsunamis flood everything. What book flooded your thoughts and you couldn't get off your mind or stop thinking about? I think Thus Spake Zarathustra really did a number on me. Reading Nietzsche is an interesting thing, and starting with that book, I've read that one and Beyond Good and Evil. Beyond Good and Evil, there are a couple of things that might rub you the wrong way, and I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, misogynistic things and whatnot. But they say that Nietzsche was a nice guy, and that maybe he was doing it on purpose. But Thus Spake Zarathustra, I just kept reading and going like, wow, and it's just a really, really intense read for me. Apart from that, I do have to mention H.P. Lovecraft. The only author that has made me dream of their writing is H.P. Lovecraft. Like, in depth, like, oh shit, I can't get out of this. It was pretty intense. Question number 5. Nuclear war, the battle of all battles between humans. Favorite human fight in a book? Although it's not human versus human, Eowyn, where she slays the Witch King and she fights. I hope it shouldn't be a spoiler. When she slays the Witch King and Return of the King is one of my favorite fights. Harry versus Voldemort. It's a build-up that takes 7 books to get to. Seriously. And even that and Molly versus Bellatrix were pretty intense as well. I think those battles were. And there's one more, but it's gonna be part of the next answer. Question number 6: Alien Invasion, best sci-fi novel, and favorite alien invasion movie. Favorite alien invasion movie would be Independence Day. I love it. The first one. I haven't seen the second one. Not interested in seeing the second one. Probably won't watch the second one. But the first one, it is popcorn glory. I get that, but I like it. As for best sci-fi novel, Dune. Dune really shook me when I read it, and I do plan on reading the series again when I get my books back. Hey, the catchphrase. But yeah, it is a book that just felt so real for so many reasons, and it really resonated for a ton of reasons. So definitely recommend it. Question number 7, artificial intelligence, robots, computers, technology taking over the world. Favorite book you have read on any sort of e-reader? And also, artificial intelligence, or favorite movie about artificial intelligence or something of the sorts. I would say, a gut reaction was to say The Matrix, but The Matrix is a complicated answer, and it's not necessarily about artificial intelligence, although it is, although it isn't. A clearer cut answer to that, or at least a part of that movie, is 2001 Space Odyssey. So yeah, those two, and the elements of artificial intelligence. In regards to the books, I'm really thankful for my Kindle, because my e-reader. I use my iPad as my e-reader. Thanks to that, a friend of mine actually gifted me Ready Player One, which was the first book that I ever read on my phone. And it was phenomenal. And I also read 10 Yen True by Amanda Armstrong and Christina St. Clair, and that first book is really good. 10 Yen Forever is also really good. It's got a weird mix. It's kind of indie also, so that was pretty cool. Strange Luck by Amy Irene Winters was a very interesting read, and that one That one is tucked firmly in my iPad. Also, both collections I've read of Anais Shevchenko and all poetry that I've read. A Love and Vodka by Christina Strigas was also amazing. I like having poetry and handy. And Cradle of the Dead by Roger Jackson. If you want something scary and creepy, that guy, I really hope that that he's able to release something soon because that book is kick ass. And question number 8, End of the World movie. End of the World disaster movies will continue to be made in Hollywood just like book to movie TV show adaptations. What book adaptation are you looking forward to? American Gods. I actually haven't read it and I'm looking forward to it, and it is next on my TBR. I will probably read it in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and I'll see the series when I can. But I'm really excited because when you see the author excited, good things happen. And Neil is very enthusiastic about this, so I'm looking forward to that. As for people whom I tag, Britt, I mentioned you already, so you are tagged. I didn't think this one through. Amber from Amber Eats Books. I don't see her talking about End of the World often, so I would be curious to see what she has to say about this. And Pickles Reads. Those three. I'm gonna keep it simple, not gonna go overboard because I normally tag a ton of people. If you see this and wanna do it, by all means, do it. Do it. So yeah, that's it for this tag. And until next tag, peace, love, and Mikey Rolls.